The draw, Mr. Stein will be our first speaker.
Okay. Hi. Several of you might have seen an article that appeared a few weeks ago stating that I wasn't going to attend this debate. I had emailed the Atlantic City Press the day after the first debate. Make a long story short, I decided not to attend any more debates. I emailed them the following day saying since nobody had the courtesy to pick up a phone and contact me and follow up on that, I had changed my mind. I emailed that to them. Several days later, they posted that article saying I wouldn't attend the debate. So I have that email. If anyone's interested, I could show it to you. Here's my opening statement. I don't have the time or the inclination to commit this to memory, so I'm going to read this. And I thank the League of Women Voters for having the four independents here. We wouldn't have had this opportunity otherwise. We've now had two chances to be side by side with our Washington incumbent, who has all the advantages that come with his prestigious position. Last Thursday night, I watched 10 minutes of Lou Dobbs on the TV, and I had to jump up and shut the TV off. He was good-naturedly talking about Joe the plumber. But the second night, he declared that we need regular folks, tradesmen, nurses, teachers, etc., in Congress. I've been offering this for 4 months, like these gentlemen next to me, just such a candidacy. You could fill a small dumpster with all I've written, distributed, and emailed. It's usually ignored or discarded. Nobody cares, with the possible exception of folks like us, political junkies. Nobody cares. Others have huge vested interests in the status quo. I ran downstairs anyway Thursday night and sent off 2 emails to Lou Dobbs and CNN, and I couldn't help myself. I knew I wouldn't get a response, and I certainly didn't. Lou Dobbs, Mr. Independent, says he speaks for us. Bill O'Reilly says he's looking out for us. Mr. Lobiando says he's looking out for us. When our congressman ignored his term limit pledge, he said honoring it would put us, the people of the second, at a disadvantage. Again, they're always all looking out for us. Thank you so much. We need to revisit...
Mr. Stein, your time has elapsed. We now go to Mr. Peter Boyce.
My name is Peter Boyce. I'm the Constitution Party candidate for Congress. I moved to South Jersey about 40 years ago to raise a family. I've worked as a commercial fisherman, as a builder, as a real estate broker, as a publisher, as a poet, and I've run a sawmill for the past 27 years. I know what work is. The Constitution, when honored, keeps government off the backs and out of the pockets of the American people. For the first time in human history, people were free to work hard, keep what they earned for themselves, their families, and their communities. America prospered like no other nation on the face of the earth. We became a light on a hill, radiating strength, peace, prosperity, health, hope, and countless miraculous technological advances to the far reaches of an oppressed world. That's the Constitution Party platform. That's the rightful heritage of every American child. And that's what's being squandered away when Congress swears a solemn oath to uphold and defend the Constitution and then demonstrates contempt for it by ignoring the limitations it imposes on their spending and authority and by ignoring the responsibilities it requires of them, such as securing our borders, such as a declaration of war, such as sound money by gold and silver, not fiat money. The press referred to me in our last forum as combative and looking to pick a fight. And what my exact words were, if I'm elected to Congress by God's grace, I'm not going there to get along. I'm going there to pick a fight every time I see the Constitution not being strictly adhered to. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Mr. Lobiando.
I would like to thank the sponsors for hosting the forum tonight, the panelists, and for everyone who is here and those who are listening. Many of you know that I've lived my whole life in South Jersey. I grew up in a little rural farming community called Rosenhain, which is in Cumberland County, and I followed in my father's footsteps of trying to be involved with community service. I believe that one of the key and important things that we have to do in these very troubling times, and there's no mistake about the troubled times, is understand that what happens in Washington has a dramatic effect on Main Street and on the middle class. It's one of the reasons why I've never been known to go along to get along. It's one of the reasons why I've always put people before party. Sometimes I've gotten in trouble with my own party. Sometimes I've gotten in trouble with my own Republican president. But it's because I didn't think they were right on things like S-CHIP, student and children's health insurance programs, which I felt it was important to override the president's veto. I also felt that way on the bailout. I hope we get a chance to talk about that a little bit tonight. I don't think it did anything to protect Main Street and the middle class. It could have been done in a much better way. And I believe in the partnerships that we've developed that have really made a difference in jobs in the economy. In Cape May County, we're dependent on tourism, really all of South Jersey. And the beach replenishment and Army Corps projects have been key and essential to keeping small businesses going. And sometimes it's just as important to fight against something. I was proud to lead the charge to keep DuPont from dumping VX, treated VX, into the Delaware River. And I think it's more about results than rhetoric, so I appreciate all of you listening tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Lobiondo. Next, we'll hear from Mr. Grover.
Hello, my name is Jason Grover. I'm a Green Party candidate for 2nd Congressional District. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for having me here, allowing me to speak in an open democratic forum. I would also like to thank the Carpenters Union for showing up again, as they did last night, to support their candidate, Frank Lobiondo. I wish more people would show up to support their candidates. And in general, I'm just a normal person. I'm not a real politician. I work 2 jobs. I have a son who's 3 years old. My wife is pregnant with twins. I found out they're girls the other day. And when I was born in 1978, the same problems that face America today are the same problems that faced us then. And I'm basically running to make sure that my children that are unborn, my son that I already have, don't have to grow up in a world where we continually face the same problems: energy, war, economics. I hear Mr. Lobiondo state about DuPont and protecting the beaches, but at the same time, he voted to drill offshore. If there's an oil leak, you'll really have to replenish the beaches because you'll have oil all over it, and there won't be building houses or casinos or anything anywhere up and down the coast when there's an oil spill. Now, if that's the kind of person that, can tell you one thing and do another, and that's fine with you, then so be it. Other than that, that's not me, and that's not the way I behave.